Hey folks, before we dive in, just a quick reminder to follow Sky Alert USA to catch this and all our future weather updates. If you find these reports helpful, please support us by subscribing, liking and dropping a comment below. It really helps us out and, well, keeps you in the know. Good morning and welcome to Sky Alert USA. I'm bringing you a critical weather update for December 26, 2025, as North America faces multiple dangerous weather systems impacting millions of people across the United States and Canada. Today's report covers life-threatening flooding in California, major winter storms in the Northeast, heavy snowfall across Canada, and a look ahead at what the next 3 days will bring. California emergency. Atmospheric river unleashes devastating floods. Let's begin with the most urgent situation unfolding right now in California, where a powerful atmospheric river storm system has created catastrophic conditions across the Golden State. This is not just another winter storm. This is a historic weather event that has already broken multiple records and forced Governor Gavin Newsom to declare a state of emergency in 6 counties. The numbers are staggering. Downtown Los Angeles has just broken its record for the wettest Christmas Eve and Christmas Day combined since 1971. Areas that typically receive half an inch to 1 inch of rain during this time of year have been hammered with 4 to 8 inches, and some mountain locations are seeing totals that exceed 10 inches. The National Weather Service has issued a high-risk excessive rainfall outlook, a rare designation that corresponds to approximately 2 out of every 5 flood-related fatalities in the United States. The impacts have been devastating. Wind gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour tore through Northern California early Christmas morning, down in trees and power lines. Flash flooding has transformed streets into raging rivers in the San Francisco Bay Area. In Southern California, particularly in San Bernardino County, the community of Wrightwood has been hit especially hard. California State Route 138 has sections that have completely washed away, and vehicles have been buried in mud from debris flows. Shelter-in-place and evacuation orders remain in effect for numerous homes as authorities continue rescue operations. The situation is particularly dangerous in burn-scar areas, zones that were stripped of vegetation by recent wildfires. These areas cannot absorb water effectively, making them prime locations for mudslides and debris flows. The Los Angeles Police Department has been conducting door-to-door evacuations, though some residents have chosen to stay despite the extreme danger. Emergency crews are bracing for additional heavy rain, with another storm cell expected to bring up to 1.5 more inches to the already saturated Palisades area. In the Sierra Nevada mountains, the story is different but equally challenging. Feet of snow are falling, creating near whiteout conditions and making travel extremely difficult or impossible. Interstate 80 through Donner Pass has been severely impacted. Major ski resorts are reporting incredible snowfall totals. Heavenly received 28 inches in 48 hours, North Star got 38 inches, and Kirkwood accumulated 33 inches. The UC Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab recorded 23.6 inches in just 24 hours, with forecasters predicting another 2 to 3 feet on the way. While ski enthusiasts might celebrate these numbers, the avalanche danger around Lake Tahoe has been rated as considerable, and a winter storm warning remains in effect through Friday morning. Santa Barbara Airport was forced to close late Thursday afternoon due to flooding on the airfield, grounding all commercial flights. The flooding threat continues through Friday, with flood watches extending from the Oregon border all the way down to Los Angeles. The National Weather Service warns that the ground is completely saturated, meaning even moderate additional rainfall can trigger flash flooding. With 2 deaths potentially related to this severe weather, officials are urging residents to take all warnings seriously and avoid unnecessary travel. Northeast winter storm, major impacts from New York to Pennsylvania. While California battles flooding, the Northeast United States is preparing for a significant winter storm that will bring a dangerous mix of snow, sleet and freezing rain starting late Friday afternoon and continuing through Saturday morning. Winter storm warnings have been issued across a vast area including New York City, Philadelphia and extensive portions of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. This storm is particularly concerning because of its complexity. Instead of simple snowfall, meteorologists are tracking a multi-layered system that will produce different precipitation types depending on location. The storm will move from west to east, beginning around 5 to 6 p.m. on Friday in the Philadelphia area, and is expected to move offshore between 10 a.m. and noon on Saturday. The forecast totals are significant. New York City could see 4 to 6 inches of snow, with some areas potentially receiving up to 10 inches in a worst-case scenario. Philadelphia has nearly a 30% chance of accumulating 4 inches or more of snow and sleet, with those probabilities jumping to 63% just 30 miles north in Trenton. The National Weather Service is particularly concerned about ice accumulation overnight Friday into Saturday, which will make roads and sidewalks dangerously slippery. Travel during this storm is strongly discouraged. The National Weather Service has issued specific guidance stating that people should consider delaying all travel until after the winter storm passes. For those who absolutely must travel, extreme caution is advised, and officials recommend keeping emergency kits in vehicles with blankets, snacks, flashlights, and other supplies in case of getting stranded. The combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain creates one of the most hazardous driving conditions possible. The timing of this storm is particularly challenging, occurring during one of the busiest travel periods of the year. AA estimates that over 109 million people will travel by car during the Christmas and New Year period, and December 26th is identified as one of the peak congestion days. This winter storm will compound those travel challenges significantly. The weather troubles don't stop in the Northeast. The Great Lakes region and upper Midwest are also experiencing, some significant winter weather. A plume of moisture tracking along the US-Canadian border is driving warm air advection-driven snow over Minnesota's Arrowhead region into Michigan's Upper Peninsula. The Keweenaw Peninsula and eastern Upper Peninsula have a 20 to 60% probability of receiving at least 4 inches of snow. Adding complexity to the system, parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin will see freezing rain at the onset of precipitation tonight due to surface temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. While minor ice accumulations are expected, even small amounts of ice can make travel treacherous. The Weather Prediction Center has rated the maximum impact level from the Winter Storm Severity Index as moderate for this region. Canada weather crisis. Significant snowfall warning in Ontario. Our neighbours to the north are facing their own serious winter weather challenges. Environment Canada has issued a snowfall warning for Toronto and surrounding areas in Ontario, with significant impacts expected. The warning, issued with high forecast confidence and a moderate impact level, indicates that 8 to 12 centimeters of snow, so that's about 3 to 5 inches, will fall across the region. The snow is expected to begin late Friday morning and continue through Friday evening, ending from west to east. Now, during Friday afternoon, the snow will become locally heavy at times, resulting in areas of significantly reduced visibility. This is particularly concerning for the afternoon rush hour period, when roads will be at their most dangerous. There remains some uncertainty regarding the exact track of the low-pressure system responsible for this snow, which could impact the eastern edge of the snowfall area. The extended forecast for Toronto shows temperatures remaining well below normal, with Friday's high reaching only -4 degrees Celsius, and overnight lows dropping to -9. Saturday will see a 30% chance of flurries with highs around -2 degrees. Sunday brings a transition as temperatures rise slightly to 2 degrees Celsius, with a 30% chance of showers increasing to 60% overnight. Across Canada more broadly, temperatures have been running slightly cooler than usual for late December. The average temperature has been around -2 degrees Celsius, compared to a recent average of 0.4 degrees for December 26th. A 77% chance of rain is in the forecast for many areas, and Environment Canada recommends residents check their What to Wear Today section for appropriate clothing recommendations given the cold and wet conditions. 3-day forecast. What's ahead for December 27th through 29th? Let me now walk you through what you can expect over the next 3 critical days as these weather systems continue to evolve. Saturday, December 27th. The winter storm affecting the northeast will move offshore during the morning hours, but its impacts will linger throughout the day. Roads will remain hazardous with snow and ice, particularly in areas that receive the heaviest precipitation Friday night. In California, the excessive rainfall risk will finally begin to diminish, though flood watches will remain in effect as saturated ground continues to pose debris flow risks. The Sierra Nevada will continue to see periods of snow, with avalanche danger remaining considerable. Severe weather risk remains low across the continental United States. Canada will see flurries continuing across Ontario, with temperatures hovering around -2 degrees Celsius during the day, dropping to -6 overnight under mostly cloudy skies. Sunday, December 28th. This marks a transition day for much of the country. A positively tilted upper-level trough will extend from the central United States into the southwest, with embedded mid-level energy rotating into the northeast. The storm prediction risk increases slightly to 5% for some areas, particularly across the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, where a moist air mass will advect northeastward ahead of a cold front moving through the mid-Mississippi Valley. While thunderstorm development is possible Sunday afternoon from the Arkansas River Valley into the Ohio Valley, most storms are expected to be elevated with limited severe weather potential due to weak instability. In Canada, Toronto will see temperatures rise to 2 degrees Celsius with a 30% chance of showers during the day, increasing to 60% overnight. This represents a brief warm-up before the next cold blast arrives. Monday, December 29th. The weather pattern continues its evolution as the cold front from Sunday moves to the southern Atlantic seaboard. A dry and cool air mass will dominate much of the nation, keeping thunderstorm chances low across the continental United States. However, meteorologists are tracking another shortwave diving south into the Great Lakes by midweek, which will reinforce the preceding trough. This is the setup for what could be a significant pattern change. In Canada, temperatures will drop back below freezing with highs around -2 degrees Celsius and a 60% chance of flurries. Overnight lows will plummet to -8 degrees Celsius as Arctic air begins to assert itself more strongly. Looking ahead, polar vortex breakdown signals major cold pattern. Beyond our 3-day forecast, there's an important longer-range pattern that everyone needs to be aware of. The polar vortex has undergone a significant split at the start of this meteorological winter season, and the consequences are about to be felt across North America in a major way. This polar vortex disruption has already triggered robust cold outbreaks in Siberia, where temperatures have plummeted to around -50 degrees Celsius. Now, the most intense part of the vortex, the southern lobe, is shifting to the North American side of the Northern Hemisphere and will spread across Arctic Canada toward the United States. What does this mean for you? A weather pattern meteorologists call the Polar Express is setting up. This occurs when an omega-blocking high-pressure system establishes itself over the western United States and another over Greenland, creating an open channel for Arctic air to pour southward across Canada and into the United States. We're talking about consecutive Arctic cold waves moving from northwest to southeast along this corridor. The pattern is already showing dramatic effects in Canada. Calgary is forecast to experience a temperature drop of more than 30 degrees Celsius in just 24 hours, from +5 degrees on Thursday to -25 degrees on Friday. Similar extreme changes are expected in Chicago and across much of the Midwest. Temperature anomalies will be significant through mid-December and possibly beyond, with average temperatures well below normal across Alaska, much of Canada, and the eastern two-thirds of the United States. The coldest air mass of the season will arrive in southern Canada, with 850 millibar temperatures around 16 to 20 degrees Celsius below normal over Alberta and Saskatchewan. This Arctic cold will progress south aggressively throughout the weekend and into next week, reaching the mid-Atlantic and northeast United States. With this pattern completely under the effects of the polar vortex split aloft, forecasters see no significant changes throughout mid-December and possibly even further into the season. The blocking high will remain locked over the west, while the deep trough continues to penetrate far south over Canada and the United States. Safety recommendations and final thoughts. Given these dangerous and dynamic weather conditions, here are the critical safety recommendations from Sky Alert USA. For those in California flood zones, do not attempt to drive through flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. Just 6 inches of moving water can knock you off your feet, and 12 inches can carry away most vehicles. If you're under an evacuation order, leave immediately. The ground is saturated and cannot absorb more water, making flash flooding and debris flows extremely dangerous. For northeast residents facing the winter storm, stock up on essential supplies now before the storm begins Friday evening. Keep your gas tank full and ensure you have food, water, medications, and heating fuel for at least 72 hours. Avoid all unnecessary travel Friday night and Saturday morning. If you must drive, keep a winter emergency kit in your vehicle. For Canada and areas expecting extreme cold, frostbite can occur in minutes under extreme wind chill conditions. Limit outdoor exposure, dress in layers, and check on elderly neighbours who may need assistance. Ensure your home heating system is functioning properly and have backup heating sources available. The weather patterns we're seeing today represent some of the most significant winter weather impacts of the season so far. Multiple dangerous systems are affecting different regions simultaneously, creating challenges for emergency management and requiring heightened awareness from everyone. At Sky Alert USA, we'll continue monitoring these evolving situations around the clock. Make sure you're following us for real-time updates and enable weather alerts on your devices so you receive critical warnings immediately. Remember, weather can change rapidly. What seems manageable now could become dangerous within hours. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay tuned to Sky Alert USA for the latest weather information you need to protect yourself and your loved ones. This has been your comprehensive weather update for December 26, 2025.